I am currently working on a video to find 20 great games similar to Vampire Survivors, and on the search of unknown titles, I stumbled upon the most innovative and unique one I have ever seen. Archons is an action roguelike bullet hell which sees us utilize all the brainpower we have to not only control one, but two characters simultaneously through 4 radiant looking levels and 3 tough boss fights. With the 2 Archons base attack depending on how close they are to each other, positioning, multitasking and great reflexes are the key for this astonishing title. After multiple screams of disappointment in myself, I finished the final boss and therefore the game— wait, there is a hard mode? Yeah, no. So join me while we explore the arena shooter Archons. With the 2 characters we control either with the keyboard or the 2 sticks on a controller, we launch into 3 levels, each with waves to survive and a boss at the end, while the endless mode holds an even tougher challenge in store for us and rewards us with the most epic loot ever produced in a game, but I won't spoil it. Picking a starting ability impacted by the position of our heroes, we can get a blade saw bouncing between the characters, 2 hammers dropping down in a specific area between them, a halo damaging anything it touches, and many more creative weapons. The additional skills we can obtain after picking enough experience crystals to level up can be automatically activating swords slashing our opponents, grenades dropping every couple of seconds, or even activatable abilities like machine guns, drones, a tank, or defensive skills like an immunity shield. These countless new skills can be unlocked in the base, where we further can upgrade them, exchange the very limited health points for powerful buffs, or spend a unique resource for general stat upgrades. The unique way of fighting is the main focus of the game, while one completely overlooked part of the game is the soundtrack, but more on that in a minute. While the typical arena shooters either give us control over just the movements or add aiming to the mix, shooting and dodging the enemies manually, Archons doubles that with the 2 characters and the main weapons we obtain throughout the run, since the movement is simultaneously the aiming part, with the saw for example bouncing between the Archons. The closer they are to each other, the quicker the blade moves and the more hits we can get on targets. Same goes for the hammer, while the laser blade damages enemies around the heroes in a specific direction, and the halo is something entirely different. This variation in base weapons gets incredibly enhanced by the numerous additional skills we can obtain, with bouncing sparks, droppable mines, aimable shotguns and many more. Upgrading those skills during a run is vital, for each level becomes increasingly more crowded and drops tougher enemies into our laps, while the well thought out bosses are nail-biting fights as well, especially since there is no, or after a few unlocks, a very limited chance to regain health. Going into a final battle with only 1 life to spare, talk about a stressful situation. These bosses have various phases and different abilities to dodge and avoid, be it by simply moving like an agile panther or by using the immortality shield, which saved me on many occasions and spared my vocal cords many screams of frustration. Bye! One additional ability that helps us avoid dying needlessly are the ultimate abilities, allowing us to either transcend into a powerful god for a few seconds, drop down multiple damaging shots, or even stop time. To improve our chances for the tough battles ahead, we have various ways to enhance our characters, with, as mentioned, unlockable skills which then drop during a run, power-ups for specific abilities like the slashing swords, or overall upgrades to our health points, pickup radius or critical hit chance, to name a few examples. To unlock those valuable items, we utilize 2 resources, one being souls we gain for each level up, seeing the Archons gaining experience points after each run, while the second resource are sparks, dropping randomly by enemies. While a third resource is being used for the specific skill upgrades, mystery boxes are the 4th and last option to change our combat prowess in the base, seeing us lock health points in exchange for powerful boons. I for one chose the faster movement speed, allowing me to dodge easier. God damn it! For the most games I play, arena shooters in particular, I check out the soundtrack, and once I've heard the first loop of the music, I either stick a little with it or pick a Spotify list right away to have my own music in the background. Archons, however, brings another twist into the mix that only specific games are aiming for. Each soundtrack in the game starts off slow and picks up the pace the longer the run goes. But what amazed me was that every shot, every hit, every slam of our abilities worked its way into the soundtrack. This meant the music was constantly changing depending on which weapon we used. If we picked an explosive ability or a slashing one, if we dealt many smaller hits or larger hits, never have I been stunned by this effortlessly looking or rather sounding music in a game which has a completely different focus, namely innovating the arena shooting formula. While the conclusion for this game is more or less pointless after my high praises, I still summarize it with the innovative combat system, brilliant visuals, great customization options and breathtaking sound design. Archons solely falls flat for anyone who plays arena shooters for the more relaxing gameplay routine, forcing a tough challenge not only on the player's reflexes but also on their multitasking prowess. And believe me, my multitasking ability starts and ends in the car. Outside of it, don't talk to me when I walk or I might trip. Therefore, Archons culminates to an absolute must-play for any arena shooter fan, or can even be a brilliant title for newcomers to the genre. So, would you agree with my verdict? Let me know in the comments. And animal fun fact number 6, every dog's nose print is different, just like a human thumb, making them bad accomplices for robberies. Isn't that interesting?